It wasn't bad, the house, so I don't remember too much of the house because I was only there a very, very short time. They give me a number, 87,790, written in a, what do you call, written with a marker, you know, like sewn in into the, what do you call, into the jacket. That was my number in Dachau. This number on the hand was already obsolete. Doesn't count anymore. So we were there for, I don't remember, we were there very long. And
what were the living conditions like in
Dachau?
Dachau?
Wasn't bad because we were very long. They looked after us. We had something to eat, you know, and it was clean. There was only 3 or 4 people we were sleeping in each bunker, you know. It wasn't bad at all. As a matter of fact, I don't have no complaints about Dachau. After all, what I went through, when you see something better, you appreciate it, you see. And we were there for a while. And then they started taking us, spread around to different camps, the whole group of us. Yeah. Some went to Mildorf, was a camp named Mildorf. Me, they sent me to Waldlager. Waldlager means inside the forest. This camp was already done, was made up. It was about 20 in a bunker. It was underground with wooden boards, and there was covered like a peak, you know.
Like a tent.
Like a tent. But we were underground, we were sleeping there. Then I was very fortunate. As soon as I got down there, they wanted Kartoffelschere pillar, you know. And I got down there, and then they wanted 2 people to cut sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is cabbage, cut them into, and make sauerkraut, make what do you call, like, what do you say sauerkraut in, sauerkraut,
like a coleslaw?
Coleslaw, yeah, but the Germans are very good for sauerkraut. The German soldiers, their sauerkraut is one of the best meal they can have. And as a matter of fact, when you go eat meat, they have sauerkraut on top of them. Anyway, I was taught how to cut the things, and they were sending me for a while in a German house, cutting it and making the sauerkraut for the Germans. And then I was working in the kitchen. The camp, it wasn't bad, you know. It was a hard labor, very, very hard labor. They were working Bausteller. A Bausteller is making bunkers out of cement, which the airplane hangars, but made of cement, and they call it a Bausteller. Well, I never worked there. I always worked in the kitchen, and I was good. But this little Isakino Namias that I was telling you about, I took him to work with me, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they throw him out, you know. So, and all of a sudden, he went to work in the Baustelle. He was a young kid. And this Leon Yachiel, the guy who was in Birkenau, you remember I told you Birkenau, he was the Polish Jew, you know, from Polish descent. He became an Arbeitslager, an Arbeitskapo, the big chief in Waldlager. And he had a big position. And a few of the Greeks Jewish Greeks became couples, which is, you know, normal. And this particular Isakino, he put him into work in the Baustelle. In the meantime, this Leon Yachiel used to come during the day after everybody went to work. He used to come to the kitchen. I used to prepare different foods for him, make some potatoes into the oven, you know, and I used to make potato latkes, you know what a potato latke is? I used to make potato latkes with the kitchen, you know. It was pretty good because I slept in the kitchen. I didn't sleep in the camp. So, and I was pretty good. I was haven't. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know, he got sick. And he has to go work night shift. I went to Leon. I went to the camp. Leon, I says, he's sick. He's a young kid. He's going to die. He's got fever. You're going to send him to the Baustelle? He started screaming at me. He forgot how much I did for him during the day. He was nervous. He says, well, I can't do it. He says, I can't take him out. I says, put somebody else. He's going to die. He started, you know what I did? I took an apron. I was wet. Apron where I was working on potatoes. I took my apron, and I says to Itzhak, says, you go to sleep. I'll go for you to work at night. Because nobody knew about me. You see, I was, and I went to work for him. And I didn't want him to go to work at the Baustelle because he was sick. And all of a sudden, I'm walking on the line, and it was cold. It was winter, freezing. The Polish, the mustache was all frozen, from the cold. And I was wet, and I didn't have much clothes on. So now I'm walking on the line on foot to the Baustelle, and all of a sudden, one of the Greek couples saw me. And I happened to, every day, I used to steal 2 big pots of soup, like, in the camp it was Greeks and non-Greeks. I used to steal 2 40-liter soups, put them on the side, and the Greeks used to come to divide it for all the Greeks. I used to do it every night, and they knew me, because they needed the food. And the couple knew me. This couple was Demotica, was his name. He sees me on the line. He used to call Sierra. Sierra means I'm blind. My eyes was a little crooked at those days, and my nickname in camp was Sierra. Sierra means blind. He says to me, "Ray, Sierra, what are you doing here?" Well, I tell him the story. I says, Rico means the red-headed kid, which is, he was sick, and Leon, he won't take him off. And I had to force. I says, okay. He says, don't worry about it. We'll go to the Baustelle. As soon as I went to the Baustelle, he says, here, I'll give you a stick. Go to the bathroom, where the people go to the washroom too, there's no washroom, just an open pit, You stay like, sluice, and then I'll come, about an hour later, I'll come and I'll pick you up. In the Baustelle was a barrack, we call Red Cross barrack, in case of. So he comes in with 2 guys, and he brings me a white towel. He wraps it over my face, and 2 guys are carrying me, And he takes me into the Red Cross. But just sleep, I'll wake you up tomorrow morning, take you back to camp. And that's the hard work that I did, but because I used to help everybody. And all the Greeks in Israel and in Greece, wherever they are, they all knew me because what I did for them when I had the position, you see. And like this Greek boy survived. And I was there, took us quite a while till